There it
There we go.
is. I knew we
Hello.
could do it.
Yep.
There we got it. All right, gentlemen.
Okay.
Thank you for taking a minute out today. I appreciate it. I really enjoy the album.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And Greg, you're prolific, man. You're just seems like just all the time your name's coming up and there's something going on. So you're a busy man.
Yeah, I got plenty ahead of me. I've just published a new book of tunes, so I want to get that to Randy shortly so he can cut his teeth on those. We've got another album in the works with Randy even, so there's always something going on here. You're right. We're busy bees in the music producing world. Yes, indeed.
You epitomize the name of this album. The door is open. You're like the proverbial guy with the door open. So
Well, Randy could give some insights into that.
yeah.
Go ahead on Randy. How about the album cover and the whole theme of, when you're young, the world is all brand new and it's fresh, and the door is open, and we like to keep that openness and keep our ears open and keep our minds open and try to create some cool stuff, I guess.
That really is what it is, and that's been my experience working with Greg on these collaborative projects. You know, some people bring out different things in your personality. You know, some people have a very, I don't know, meticulous, detail-oriented energy, and that can be positive, to increase clarity and precision. And some people, and Greg is one of these people to me, have a very freeing influence, kind of anything I suggest or throw out there, Greg says, yeah, let's go for it, let's do it. And we kind of egg each other on, and it really gets pretty wild. It gets into some unusual musical territory for me, and it becomes greater than the sum of the parts, I think. I mean, so our process together is Greg writes, he's always writing. He's writing these melodies, and they're quirky and cool. And a lot of times they're not something that I could pick up and play with my ensemble as a jazz piece. They're written for piano, and there's a lot of meat there. There's a lot to work with. But Greg has this incredible trust and openness. He just says, okay, what does this suggest to you? So I kind of just start building from what's there, and it becomes, I don't know, both Greg's personality and my personality expressed in the writing, and then we bring it to the musicians, and it turns into something from there. So I don't know, but also it's something like, for me, I know I never would have created it on my own, and it's very different than my other projects. Uh, but yeah, I think,
Good.
that the title really captures that feeling. The door is open, and we chose this painting that my grandmother did of me. Actually, that's me
Yeah.
as a little kid on the front, and the idea of seeing the world through a child's eyes, and experimentation and excitement and freedom.
And just the wonder of nature. I mean, it's everything. The doors are wide open. It's a brand new world, and if you can go through your decades and still see things freshly, I guess that's my goal. If you go to an art exhibit, we saw Van Gogh was in Detroit Institute of Art, and you could just see his paintings over time. He would look at the same subjects and he would see them totally differently. He had fresh eyes every time he's got at the easel. Like, how do you do that? It's mind blowing. I mean,
Wow.
you can even come close to that.
Yeah, right.
It's the same thing, but you're seeing it totally differently. So you're just letting your imagination. It's a controlled situation, but you're letting it run wild and then putting it into a tangible form. So that's sort of the goal of creating music, is to wake up and see the world in fresh eyes and
Oh
fresh ears,
man,
and let's just take it from there. So the door is open. Then
beautiful.
with Randy, he put out an album, it was about 5 years or so, of Common Tones, and I just loved it. It was a great album. And I said, this guy can really arrange. He knows how to arrange, and I got to collaborate with him. And right shortly thereafter, we did start crossing paths a little bit at the local club and professors of jazz, and we started crossing paths enough so I could lay the material on him. Then I just sort of coaxed him after that. And boy, once we got on the same page, we've been off and running. This is our third album with another one being penciled in sort of for the future.
So it was a pretty easy decision to go ahead and collaborate and make this album and do this.
Yeah, I was a fan. I was an instant fan. I said, this guy really can really arrange, and besides being a great player. And we also knew him from the jazz crews, so over the years with Freddie Cole. So
Yeah.
I was just naturally drawn to his talent and his playing and his arranging.
So
Thank you, Grego.
no, I didn't hear you. What's that?
I just said thank you, dearest Grego.
Yeah. We gotta keep this thing going. I think we plan on doing that.
Heck yeah. And
as we go
you know,
forward.
we keep on going deeper, you know, and it's changed how I play standards too, you know, working on this music. And I always love, I mean, at my core, I'm a bebop and standards and blues kind of player, but something that, you know, Freddie Cole, who was really my greatest teacher, stressed a lot, as he said, you know, it's not only about how well you play. So in other words, I'm always going to be working my whole life trying to develop those, you know, the same tools I've been working on since I started, just the, you know, my flow of ideas in the jazz language. But, you know, he said it's not only how well you play, it's the presentation of the music. So with Gregg, you know, we're exploring different ways of kind of framing the music. I'm always trying to swing. I'm always trying to get a good sound out of the guitar and, you know, play some lines and chords that make sense, and that's going to be the same no matter what the context is. But we're trying to, I don't know, come up with a different or unusual framing of it.
So ultimately, what are you hoping the listener gets from this album?
Gregg, you want to field it?
Yes, a journey. The arrangements are quite different. You know, there's not a lot of repetition. The choice of material is, I have, this is my fifth book. I just put out, well, a couple of days ago. I have copies. And so I have 174 tunes to work with. And we picked material that varies quite a bit. It's different flavors, different colors, different moods. And I think that's why it's having some success out there, because a disc jockey can pretty much play any tune on the album. They know they don't have to pick through and decide which ones they like. They all have an element that has an appeal to it. And that's sort of the goal, to make it an interesting journey. So it's not in a certain bag or anything. It's like, okay, now we're doing like a rock number. Where did that come from? And then an extended lyrical piece with some very just tastiness all the way through, and not hitting you over the head, and then another tune that just comes right at you. So we keep it interesting, I guess. That's what the goal is make the listener enjoy the whole experience as they listen to the album.
Yeah, mix it up.
So what about live shows? What are you guys doing as kind of the warm months are upon us and things are open? What's going on with that?
There'll be some shows this summer. We're still working on the schedule, but yeah, the challenge is getting all these musicians together in the same place. You know, Aubrey Johnson lives in Brooklyn, and Quincy Davis lives in Denton, Texas. So yeah, I'm hoping to do a little tour of this project in November. Actually, I think probably is when I'll be able to put it together for. So,
you know,
we have a couple local festivals that have actually big crowds, and I've already Rodney Whitaker runs the Summer Solstice Jazz Festival, and he asked me what group I'd like to have perform this year, and he's the ultimate decider. I said Randy Napoleon from the Doors Open group, and
oh,
he
great.
seemed to like that a lot. But he's got the clout to make it happen. But he's it takes a while to get the lineup in place. So I guess we're waiting on that, but that was my number one choice. I made a good pitch for that festival. Yeah.
You know, the one thing about the jazz community is that it's all about the community and the relationships you build. And jazz is kind of a unique organism because there's so many collaborations. I mean, you don't see that as much in other genres. So this has to feel really good with each of you having your career paths to intersect, to be fans and to collaborate and open that door up for further. This all has to just feel good as a musician.
Very much so.
Very
And you know, I'll say that I basically spend all day every day working on guitar and, you know, teaching music and playing, and it's very easy to get in your own head and get in a loop and, you know, kind of get stuck in your ideas. And you know, being able to work with someone else like Greg, who I would say in terms of his spirit is very similar to me. We relate very much in terms of, I don't know, just kind of being wild. You know, Greg's wild. You know, you see a mature gentleman there on the other side of the camera, but he's wild and he's youthful, and so I relate to that very much. But also musically, the stuff he comes up with is very different than how I would write. And so this, how could I express this? I don't know. It's like getting a sharp direction shift or a creative poke or something, and then when we combine it, it turns into something different than either of us. So I love it. I had never done anything like this. You know, my own records had always been, you know, me sitting by myself thinking about what I want to record, and then of course you play it with people, and the musicians are collaborators, and that's going to change the feeling and the sound of it. But actually working together with someone on the writing process has created some really neat stuff, I think. I hope people like it, but I really like this record a lot. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's one you can listen to a lot, and it doesn't wear thin at all. You can keep listening to it over days or weeks, and you're still finding stuff that maybe you didn't spot before, little intricacies or little I call them Randyisms. You know, with I've got my Greggisms or quirkiness, and Randy also has with his arrangements. He's doing some sonically. There's stuff that, you know, how do you put the Aubrey and how do you collaborate with that, with Aubrey's voice and Randy's guitar? That's like a brand new creation there. Like, that's some brilliant stuff, Randy, I must say.
Oh, thanks, Greg.
Well, and the bottom line too is that this is just the beginning. You're going to have more projects and more music will be coming out. So with this out, with the door is open, where's the best place for people to get a physical copy? And if they want to find out about live shows or anything respectively about each of your careers, where can they go?
Well, Origin Records, originarts.com. It's available on the digital outlets. I have Gregg Hill jazz.com with the copies available there, and Randy has I believe a similar profile for obtaining the music.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not as good at keeping my website updated, but I usually, you know, keep people abreast of what's happening through Instagram or Facebook. So that's a good way to just Google me, and
Yeah, plus you have a lot of live shows all over the place. So that's also, you're an ambassador.
And there's a few of these tunes that I can pull off trio, so I do some of them that really takes the whole band. I'm on the road next weekend. I'm playing in Hilton Head Island, trio gig.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, I love it. Gentlemen, thank you so much for opening up about the project. I look forward to more coming and putting this album on the show. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Joe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very nice job.
Good to talk
Appreciate it.
face. I like this.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's living color. It's like going from black and white to color.
That's right.
It's good. Gentlemen, thank you. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Have a great weekend.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Hey Jazz fans, Joe Domino here, the host of the weekly Neon Jazz radio show and regular interview series being produced and distributed from Lee Summit, Missouri. We are quite excited to let you know about the first annual Lee Summit Jazz Fest taking place this summer on June 22nd, 2024 at the Bridge Space located at 210 Southwest Market Street. There will be 8 robust acts, including the Back Alley Brass Band and the great Lee Summit Jazz Orchestra. There will also be art vendors and food trucks to make this a must-attend event. All details can be found at www.bridgespace.us/jazz. We will see you there.